Do we have any new notes? Katarina is in danger today. Show me my notes. Where are my notes? Oh yeah, this is my portrait. Don't I look great? Come on, where's the notes? There we go. Since they call... Are you saint or a thief? Since they call you by both names, whether or not you're a saint is not for you to judge. But can you at least remember what it was that you stole? Why did they try to chase you, hunt you down, as if you were the world's worst offender? Sister of mine, don't you cry. Don't give in to despair. As powerful as your enemies are, your protectors wield greater power. A villain should be judged. A saint should perform miracles. You cannot spare time for these everyday commitments. Rest assured I will take care of your affairs for you. I am going to visit the Skinner's district today. Do you recognize my hand yet? Alexander is waiting. Daughter, this is how we will call you from now on. I am brought down by a heavy burden. Katarina is sick and she won't be able to perform the tasks of a mistress without your help. Much labor awaits you. We'll let you run free, but be prepared that every single day, either me or my wife will have a errand for you. Be at hand. With great expectations, your loving father. Aww. Well, dawn of the next day. Let's go check in with Alexander. Fish. Thank you, kind sir. I will crunch on this salty snack. Yum. I could use more. Bread, fish, milk. All I'll ever need. Taking the scenic route.
Is there really no way to cure the disease?
You have walked around and observed much. Tell me, Clara, how does this disease spread? Through breath, through touch, or perhaps through blood-sucking insects? Those have grown in number as of late. I don't know, Father. How could I know? I'm no scientist. Come closer, my daughter. Tell me, advise me, what measures must be taken to stop the epidemic? Where do we send our brave patrolmen and the executor suicide squads? It's not for me to decide, Father. My advice would be of little use there. There's nothing wrong with your saying this. I am thinking aloud, and I would like to know whether the Harbinger agrees with me, for there is someone else speaking through your lips, is there not? Yes, there is. 5 years ago, the Sand Plague broke out in the poor districts, where, due to our negligence, the social and sanitary conditions had become truly appalling. If, like the plague, it is spread by blood-sucking fleas and their host animals, perhaps a culling of bulls and other domestic animals would be the best solution. Rats! That's who you ought to exterminate without mercy. There should be a reward for every rat killed. I'll tell you what I am going to do. Don't say a word to anyone about the plague. I refuse to allow panic. And so, I will ban all expressions of mourning. Let them celebrate instead. To the Bachelor, I have recommended that he reassure sick people, saying that they've been inflicted with a general condition. Man, really predicting, the Trump campaigns dealing with the COVID pandemic. This game is really insensitive in 2020, Jesus Christ. I was just making jokes. But this is just one-to-one. Oh. There's already talk of the sand plague at every street corner. Aren't these measures coming a little late? Let no one talk about the sand plague for as long as possible. Now, if anyone attempts to escape and is heard saying that the disease is incurable, and a pair of boots is the best medicine, that person must be taken into custody. Is that something you would endorse? You're looking for the cause in the wrong place. That is my job to do. Do not worry about that. To be the ruler during a plague is a cursed part to play, and a grievous burden. A man doomed to do nothing but error. Yes, all of those measures are just a way to comfort ourselves. My only hope is you. I hope you have not allowed despair to take over you yet. Do I need to restate my request? Whatever happens, I'm only fulfilling my purpose. Shall visit a singer named Anna Angel. Of all the black souls in our town, that is the blackest. The Willow used to be the happiest house on this side of town. We were happy to have such neighbors. Every crack in the walls of that house is oozing with blood and tears. My God, what happened there? No one knows. Ever since Anna came to town, she has always gone away with whatever she did. Neither does anyone know what happened to all the former dwellers of that house. They had been a family, a tight-knit one. Do you suspect her? I suspect that one of the bloodthirstiest ghouls that walk the earth has infiltrated our town in the shape of a singer. Have you heard about the caravan? Of course you haven't. Ask her about it and see what she has to say. Alright. You frightened me so much. Is Anna Angel to blame for starting this plague? Seeds of the caravan. They say that Anna Angel's soul is blacker than coal, and her crimes are as terrifying as they are unprovable. Even so, I will force her to confide in me, to remove her mask and reveal the nakedness of her soul to me. Maybe she is not so black on the inside. Already did 2 side quests for her, so maybe she'll let me into her heart a little bit easier. Hi Anna, I'm back.
The paint is peeling off me. So ugly.
You're so pale. Would you like to use my rogue? I've come to you on behalf of my protector and father. He wants to know more about you than he does now. Oh, so now I'm on Sabrov's list of undesirables too. Truly, I'm being targeted by all the powers that be. Would have never expected that from Sabrov, a firmly principled man and an old neighbor of mine. In the meantime, the Oglimskis have been utterly terrorizing me. I was even going to plead for his protection. And what's the Oglimskis' problem with you? Oh, I do know what it's about. There's this local assurer. I'll tell you later how I'm involved here. So Tough Vlad decided to pocket his blood money. Vlad himself had to pay up quite heftily. He transferred the funds to your new father yesterday. But what does that have to do with you? We'll come to that, my dear. The hunchback refused to give Vlad the money, so Vlad said he'd find a way to bring him to heel. Pressure someone who could reveal all the skeletons in the hunchback's closet. That was a direct hint at me. Vlad had found out about my involvement with the hunchback. That's hardly something that Alexander wanted to find out. Please, my dear, save me from those infernal Oglimskis. Vlad is terrible. Terribly, unbelievably cruel. He can't control his anger. He can smash an oak table into splinters. He can condemn hundreds of people to torture just to quench his own fury. Help me. I'll be completely open with you. Find out if Big Vlad is scheming against me. Would he really threaten you? Yes. Thinks I'm easy to handle because of how I acted yesterday. And today, there was this threatening message, saying I'll soon die the same death as others who... Well, no need to go into the vapid lies that followed. Signed, Look Back. Do you have any idea how scary this is? What kind of a strange signature is that? It's a hint that there will always be danger lurking behind my back. I mean, what else could it be? So how can I help you there? Well, think of something. You'll surely manage. Sense an angelic power in you. I, of course, would have used his children to get to him, but they're already grown up. I wouldn't be able to handle them at this point. But you will. Used his children. That sounded sinister. Oh, and don't believe anything they might tell you about my past. It's all lies. I came here as a refugee fleeing political persecution for singing subversive songs. See you later, Anna. I'll come back with news. Anna is afraid of Vlad the Heavy, the leader of the Olgimsky household. He wouldn't want to meet me, that's for sure. His children, though, Capella and Vlad the Younger, might trade their words with me. Olgimsky's daughter, Capella, should know everything about her father. It's a good chance to know her better. She is my peer, after all. Olgimsky's son, Vlad the Younger, could know many things about his father's dealings, even the secret ones. Well, let's start out with Capella. We're already on a good foot with her. While on our way, let's get ourselves the usual coffee. Keep us upright. Thank you, good sir.
The winter comes soon, I hope.
By the way, I found the bachelor. How brave you are. Did he say anything? Is Loafer alright? Apparently, he found the boy and took the powder from him. He was acting rather strangely when I met him. Could it be that he was testing that horrible mixture on himself? I really hope he was. I totally don't have it right now. Hee hee.
Is it really lethal?
I've come to you with a very important task. If you answer my question, I won't bother you anymore for now. Tell me, is your father threatening Anna? Oh, for how much longer are you all going to torture my father? No, he is not to blame for anything. Anything whatsoever. Remember it, in case anyone points the finger at him in the future. Why did I only give him my word? Someone's been sending anonymous threatening letters to Anna. She's convinced your father wants to punish her for something. He doesn't care about this Anna at all. I suppose he's going to start now. Anonymous threats, way to slander him. Thank you for telling me. I'll strangle this Anna myself, the viper, with my own hands. But who could be sending her in those letters? They're signed, Look Back. What did you say? Look back. I think I'm beginning to see now. Ono must have really been involved with the caravan, which makes Khan the most likely writer of those letters. So that's why they all suddenly assembled at the polyhedron 5 days ago and wouldn't believe. They heard of the seeds of the caravans sprouting in the town. Small wonder. What is the caravan? It's that circus of wandering murderers. The one where singers were abducting children and doing horrible things to them. It was an enormous circus troupe dealing as a cult of some sort. A mysterious story that's still unclear on many points. The reprisal was too hasty, and the investigation too muddled. It had frightened everyone too much. Frightened how? Basically, they used to abduct children. It is said they brought them up as actors in order to attract new audiences. They picked the best, but now, so many years later, there have been so many legends, so many ballads and scary stories about them that no one remembers the truth anymore. In the children's ear, the word caravan is simply synonymous with a maddening and inescapable horror. By the way, Anna has an accomplice, the hunchback Dushurer. Khan will give her no peace regardless. In his mind, even a single living caravan actor is a being who will sow and spread the seeds of this senseless monstrosity. Like an infection of sorts. Really though, what was the point of the whole plan? Probably had something else in mind too. No, nothing. They traveled the country, acting, singing, performing stunts and tricks. They took bright children and left ugly ones on doorsteps as replacements. Like changelings. They were leaving fear, grief, hatred, and monsters in their wake, while themselves becoming even more alluring, beautiful, attractive, and memorable. Despite that, people were growing more and more afraid of them. That's horrible. There's so much hatred around. Is the caravan destroyed? Yes. It attracted the attention of the powers that be fairly quickly. There was a real manhunt for them. They conducted raids and searches. They chased them. At first, the caravan miraculously managed to elude them, but eventually they were surrounded near Orv. A ballad was written about the attack. You've probably heard of it. No, I don't remember hearing it. I have learned a lot. Oglimsky has nothing to do with whoever is stalking Anna. I don't know if Anna should be happy about this or not. What I do know is that the hook I should be able to... is the kind of hook I should use to drag her conscience out. Finally, I know where the threats to the singer are coming from. Alright, so I guess we should stop down and talk... Wait, Khan's sending the threats or Notkin? Because if it's Khan, we can't meet up. Yeah, there's nothing on the polyhedron. So, let's skip down to Anna. Oh, nope. Okay, so this is pretty much the same note as yesterday.
Yeah.
I've talked to the Ogimskis, Anna. Pray tell, what are they up to? You have nothing to worry about, sweet dear. The Ogimskis aren't interested in you in the slightest. A boy named Khan is who's sending you the threats. I wonder why. Ah, so that's how it is. Now I understand. Now I see the whole picture. That is the point. Now I realize... woe is me, the ever unlucky artiste. I've played the part of a villainess all too well. Now no one is going to believe that I am what I really am. Thank you, my dear. Now I know which direction to expect danger from. Do you agree to answer my questions candidly and without prejudice? I do. Why didn't you? Anna, is it true that you are a kidnapper of children? A criminal from the caravan? It's not true. I've never kidnapped a child. I myself was kidnapped at a very young age. Well, not literally kidnapped. Ending was up there more as a misstep. Then why? Why, then, do people say that you're a performer of the Actually, a mishap. Why? Because I'd been born ugly and mute. No one would play with me. I couldn't even say mommy, all the while dreaming of becoming a real singer. I thought they'd teach me to sing at the caravan, make me beautiful. How would that be possible if you were mute? They had sorcery in their blood. They made stage artistes out of children like myself. Nothing came out of my singing in the end, but I did become a true caravan girl. A malicious, obsessed troll ruining children's lives and souls. It so happened that I was already here at the time. So you were a failure as a singer, weren't you? And how did you become so beautiful? They'd fed me egg yolks and oysters, made me drink lemon juice, put a special toad on my chest, so that it'd absorb its miasma. Didn't work, and he decided to make me a figurine. Then there was a raid, and we got rounded up near Orv. I escaped with a snake charmer named Var. He carried me out. What's a figurine? A freak. He left the small ones at the door of a house that a child had been kidnapped from, like changelings. You should know. The grown-ups ones were made to perform at the Gwingnall, a night show for depraved adults. So what was your crime? I had betrayed my parents. I had taken someone else's voice, someone else's hair. Then, when I was already here, I acted the same way the caravan leaders would. I was hungry, so I lifted all of these things from Willow, the girl, who then died. It was she that used to be the golden-haired singer. That's when the plague broke out. How is that even possible? As punishment for my greed, Willow Mellow had predicted that it would all turn out this way if the caravan got here. She had been stockpiling medicine. The stash is actually all hers. All this time, I've been waiting for my punishment. I've twisted my nature so badly. I should have remained a cripple. And who is this Willow? She was nice, a real baby doll. I did to her the same thing that the caravan had been doing to children. Ground her into flour, unwoven her into threads. I don't even know how I did it. Flour and threads? You're mad, aren't you? I suppose I can't expect to be forgiven, can I? Too big of an honor for you. Having an entire town perish because of your greed? No, it wasn't your doing. What should I do with the dreadful Anna? She is not the one to blame for the pestilence. This doesn't make her less of a monster. Directly or not, her demented passions have led her to kill Willow Mellow. Shall I condemn her then, or shall I let her live? Father must know of my decision. And well, unfortunately, you know what the answer is. She did not cause the plague, and hence we cannot give Sabirov the, well, if we give someone in as the cause of the plague, he'll relax on his rules, and the town just might fall into chaos like that. Anna is a monster, but she did not cause the plague. So, Anna is innocent.
The rabble is completely out of control. They must have been bottling up their lowly instincts for quite some time.
I've talked to Anna, some neighbors you have. Not you, we. Do you still not think of the rod as your home? Tell me, what's your verdict on Anna? She is innocent. Are you sure? Clara? I am sure. Who is guilty then? I don't know. Are there no more bad people left in town? Don't you want to know who caused the disease? Be careful, Clara. Careful you don't let a criminal walk free. The entire town will be slowly consumed while your mercy is keeping the one villain alive. Let truth prevail. The town hated that. As dreadful a person as she is still little more than a child, whose own naivete only serves to make her too fretful for her own good. I do not have it in me to condemn her. Let them turn their suspicious glances to me. Let them think I may be an accomplice. Still, I'd rather let her redress whatever harm she has caused. Oh! Taking down the redemptive route. I like that result. People hate me more, but I'm happy with that. Actually, first off, let me leave off my twire. I believe there is one more side quest that can be found. Let me think. Alright, of course. Katarina. See what she has to say. What time is it? Only 10. Well, we're doing very good for ourselves. Kind of a whole day to sleep off.
Nothing threatens your daughter. Everyone will die, but you will remain.
Katarina, that's not your voice. Katarina, what the hell is that? Okay, I guess I'll read this in that voice. Is your faith firm, my dear daughter? Have you faced any temptations on your path that made you doubt the truth that I profess? For I have nothing with which to convince you, with a love brewing inside of me ever stronger. It's firm, mother. Do you remember everything I have told you about those bound of yours who are infected with a utopian heresy? And about some of them, perhaps many of them, being instrumental in bringing the wrath of heaven upon our town? It must be so, mother. There was a mansion in the stone yard called the Stillwater. Living there is a girl named Ava Yan. Both good and bad things are said about her. She is said to be affectionate and depraved, a kind soul while also voluptuous. I'm not talking about that. Lust is not the kind of sin to incur such a punishment. Why are you talking about her, then? Ava has been led astray by utopian ideas. What has particularly captured my attention is that Ava, the gentle Ava Yan, is spending an extraordinary amount of time at the town's cathedral. There is no knowing as to what is drawing her there, but her way of life is incongruous with such a piety. It is mysterious. Well, we know what she ultimately does there. I'll try to solve it, mother. Ava is gentle and weak. Begin with her. She is unlikely to be rude with you. Try to use your powers on her first. For from then on, you will commune with some dangerous and different collucutors. The words in this game are too big for me. They may overwhelm you with their rage, rendering you unable to sway them. I'll try, mother. Ava is yet to be converted. Her heart is pure. The arrogance of Scarlet Nina's ideals have ignited a very dangerous fire inside of her. I will have to extinguish it, lest the greater powers hold the whole town responsible for this impertinence. Yulia is the keeper of the hooks that I may use to take the hold of Ava's soul. Hey, we got to talk to Ava. Yulia. She's a character we really don't see much. Although I have to say, just from the very little we see from her, I think she's my favorite character in the game. Besides, like, Danielle, Burak, and, honestly, what's her name? Capella. I like Capella.
There are unseen connections looking through the capricity and tenuity that the world seems to be made of.
What a serendipitous encounter. Who are you, my angelic child? My name is Clara, and you must be Yulia. A changeling, right? I've heard a lot about you. Let's talk. Hope the cigarette smoke is no major nuisance. The reason's quite obvious. I'd rather not open the window. Why the Changeling? Never mind. No particular reason. Do you have any business with me? I've come to get acquainted with you.
They say it's neither cholera nor pox. So it's not that bad?
Why are you so quiet? Is something troubling you? I'll be honest with you. I have a request to make, and I'd like to do something for you first. You don't have to worry about that. Rest assured you will do something for me. In fact, you're doing something for me already, even if inadvertently. Believe it or not, but the pleasure brought by your visit feels startlingly physical for the kind of purely intellectual stimulus it actually is. Is this something that you expected? Expected? An apt observation indeed. Bear with me, please. I am still young, and whatever acumen I've had the time to acquire is clearly not enough to suppress the excitement one feels when everything happens just the way it was expected to happen. Oh, the joy I feel when everything falls well into line, and what I have predicted, which I don't mean the brute probabilism that your mother would resort to, but a watertight, well-grounded calculation of likelihood. You check your own notes, you make minuscule adjustments, and then bang! You see your assumptions gain flesh at your own doorstep. I suppose you worked out on paper what I should look like too, didn't you? Frankly, I imagined you as a completely different person. Tall as a lamppost, white, ragged, with your ribs bare and a firm, shapely bosom, long hair, off-white, disheveled, of course, and a pair of huge, fluffy peepers. Nice! Was I by any chance carrying a long, rapaciously curved scythe? Right, enough silliness. Let's get to the meat of the matter. You know, I'm dying to know what your request may be. I'd even venture an educated guess that you wanted to ask me something about Ava Yan. What could it be? Anyone could have told you the basic facts. Who she is, where she lives, what she preferred to wear. You any interest in anything else, then? Something concerning her soul, in that case? But how could you... Who told you? Did you speak with Katharina? Is this some kind of joke? Oh no, I didn't speak with Katarina. I never do. Morphine addicts and other kinds of substance abusers are not the company I normally prefer. They make too bleak an impression. I have seized my relationship with the Stomatin twins with that very reason. Now, these are two of potential interest to you. Did you meet them yet? How did you know I was going to ask you about Ava? Let's just say that Ava is no less religious than yourself. Just a little while back, she was literally obsessed with the cathedral. Times changed, though. The Bachelor has arrived and claimed the entirety of Ava's attention. Ava has forgotten her cathedral, and we forgot the hopes of our salvation. Wouldn't be surprised if the cathedral will simply cease to exist in its capacity as a place where the aspirations of revival are kept. The Bachelor, you say? That's interesting. I'm convinced that he isn't human, but an emissary of evil. Well, in this case, should we be surprised that he has gained control over her, seduced her, bound her by his supernatural power? She would do anything for him, which gives every appearance of demonic possession. If we add the cathedral to the equation, we will end up with a textbook example of universal temptation narrative. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm going to keep looking at you, or rather to keep watching you. Get the feeling that every move you make may be reliably predicted. This is not an opportunity I would ever miss, for it feeds remarkably well into one of my theories. Perhaps. The most pessimistic of them all. Well, off you go. Harbinger. Sometimes I, too, have revelations and see people's paths. We'll meet again soon, Yulia. There's only one hook that can be used to drag out this delicate heart, the Bachelor, Ava's nightmarish paramour. Seems she will have to be rescued from the clutches of 2 demons instead of 1. Well, now I understand why Yulia is one of Clara's bounds.
Can you feel how rapid my heartbeat is?
Do you hear these silvery tinkling things on my chest? They're not keys, they're not bells. They're my hooks. Tell me about the Bachelor. Why, I don't hear any tinkling. You speak strangely. Ava, oh Ava, I know of you this. You love the Bachelor more than your own life. Will you agree to touch me, to brave the depths, to answer my questions candidly and without prejudice? The moment his boots stepped on the dusty soil of our roads, the moment he took a deep breath of our air, the moment his shadow fell on the cobbles of our town, I knew that my life had changed, that it was approaching its acme. He has come, and now I live for his sake. Why do you love him so much? He came here to witness a genuine miracle. He believes he will find here what he would never have found at the capital. He had been searching, and lo, fate brought him to my door. It's better than anyone who ever walked this earth. Because he's doomed. What if he came here to work miracles instead of observing them? Doomed? I don't understand what you're saying at all. What does being able to work miracles have to do with anything? Miracle workers aren't doomed. Even those of them whose lives are short live them to the fullest in a way you couldn't live in 1,000 ordinary lives. Look at me, Ava. I can work miracles. I can sense their nature. Mark my words, neither you nor he will get any miracles for as long as you're expecting them with such greed and entitlement. Why? No, Clara, you didn't see what we saw. Being too serious. Those who watched Scarlet Nina build the town, who watched Simon play with our children, would never say it's futile to demand a miracle. One can, and in a way, one must. Well, well, so that's what the utopian false doctrine looks like. Why, it sure is beautiful. Did you call my words a fake doctrine? Believe me, it's because of teachings like these that the disease has struck your town. For as long as the town is afire with this naive criminal and greedy hope, you will go on suffering and dying. I know it. I am the Harbinger. They say you're Katerina's foster daughter. Can you see clearer into the future than she? I can. Will you take care of him when I die? Maria let slip that he has 3 days left to win. It's a commitment he is bound by. I have to give my own life so that he may survive. That will be a fitting sacrifice for this true teaching. You don't have to die. I'll do everything myself. Sleep and listen to what I tell you. He says we have to fight, to hope for the impossible until the very end. He's the one who will do the fighting, not you, gentle Ava. Sleep. Poor girl, so in love with her own dream. Can go back to Katarina. I'm not sure if we've convinced her, but I think we did lay a seed of doubt. Which I think Katarina would be happy enough with.
Nothing threatens your daughter. Everyone will die, but you will remain.
Okay, Katarina's really aggressive today. I've been to see Ava, Mother. And? She's affectionate, kind, and defenseless. Have you managed to convince her? I did. It wasn't easy. She has accepted our faith. Get 1,000 coin and some reputation. All's good. Anyway, that's all the questing. And we completed it at 12. So, we have literally half a day to piss off. So, I'm not gonna torment everybody by just showing me looting every single bin and trading with children during my free time. So I'm gonna meet you back up tonight to see the pantomime. See you soon.
The day is over. Your timely efforts allowed your supporters to remain unharmed. A new mime performance is being rehearsed at the theater.
So, the works and the mouth are infected today. That's interesting. Yeah, nothing too amazing occurred. I picked up a Twirin extract using some Twirin, and I gained a couple of trade items from bins. Nothing interesting. So I think I got 1 bullet. Yeah, it's whatever. Anyways, let us finish this up. See you at the cathedral. I'd really like to get these ankle boots, but I just really can't, wait. Oh, okay, I see. So, tomorrow we can get ourselves a Duranger. I forgot that I could sell off the vaccines for a ton. So, yeah. I win. Oh god, where? Oh. I swear to god, if I was knife sniped from the bottom of that little wall, I would have shit myself. Get out of here. Thanks for the money. It's good that we have the money for the Duranger now, because there's no way in hell that I can kill the, there's no way in hell I could kill the people in the burnt out districts with this shitty hand attack. They just kick my shit in. It'll also be good for once the arsonists come out to play on day 6.
So?
It stays away from dead bodies, disappearing from corpses without a trace. It's been established that you can outweight it if you're careful and discreet. The glass will keep the best, as it's supposed to.
What does it mean?
It means we have a fighting chance. The infectious agent only sticks to living matter, and is repelled by dead surfaces. Those who remain indoors are more likely to survive. Scurrying and making a fuss means death. All in all, we can fight.
You self-serving jerk. You've got your own agenda, haven't you? You're always up for a fight. You just need an adversary. What about the people?
Hush. Don't you get in his way. He seems to have a plan.
It's all wrong. It's no good at all.
Next time, I'll see you for day 4. Ciao.